What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal SpazPhoenix, the YWC reality check, and oh my god, it seems like forever since I've gotten to say that to you guys. How are you guys? I haven't talked to you guys in a hell of a long time, have I? It's been a while, things are here and there, so to get some of that out of the way, I'm going to attack some of the questions that I've been asked in the past little while I've been gone. I'm not going to sit up here with an ego saying, oh my god, each and every last one of you missed me and it spoiled your day that I wasn't on YouTube anymore. I don't have an ego like that. Like some people I could mention and probably will mention, not going to lie. But, you know, a small handful of people have asked me a couple of things, mostly like, where you been? Things like that. So I'm going to address a couple of things before I get into the meat and bones of this particular video. First question, like I said, is where have I been? Thing is, I've just been busy, guys. I haven't gone anywhere. Haven't stopped watching wrestling. Haven't stopped being part of the, well, I've stopped being part of the YWC for a while because I haven't put anything on YouTube. And if you put something on YouTube, you are part of the YWC. Take notes, Mark. Anyways, but I have been part of the IWC. I've still been talking to people. I've still been talking about wrestling, debating my opinions, etc., etc., etc. And in the past little while, enjoying it a hell of a lot more than I usually have, and it coincides with me not making videos because you know, I make sense. But I mean, I'll let you guys in on some stuff. You guys some of you were subscribed to this channel when I got the job that I have now. The job that I have now moved me from the warehouse to the office, and it meant that my hours have kind of done one of these things and become less and less and less predictable. And it's one of those, yeah, I come home and I watch Raw, and I enjoy Raw, and I'm sticking with it from beginning to end and don't bitch about it being 3 hours like some people do, but, you know, by the end of it I'm tapped, you know, it is what it is, and I'm not, you know, really amped up to hop on the camera at, I don't know, 11:30 our time here in Canada. Also, I've been doing some other things. I did some traveling, which was fun. I haven't traveled since I was like a little kid, but I got my passport, hopped down to the States, got to meet another fellow member of the YWC and my former co-host on the No Holds Barred show, Steffi Sunshine, and she's absolutely amazing. So, you know, if I have the choice between, you know, hopping on a plane, going and visiting a friend, etc., and sitting here making a video for you guys, I do regret to tell you that I'm going to hop on that plane and the Phoenix will fly, so to speak, if I want to be that corny. I've been doing other things, wrestling related. I just haven't been here on YouTube. For those of you that follow me, you know that Steffi Sunshine and I co-host the Break the Walls group on Facebook. I've also created a second channel. You guys know I'm a big supporter of women's wrestling. So if you go to youtube.com/KO Diva Hotel, I have sort of a highlight reel type channel of some of my favorite current women's matches, which is cool. We did do the whole social experiment known as the No Holds Barred show. It still does exist. We just don't know when we're going to be able to do it again. You can still find me on Twitter at SpazPhoenix. You can still find me at Skype by searching SpazPhoenix. And taking a veer off from the wrestling realm for just a moment, for anybody out there that watches the TV show The Walking Dead, or has a particular fanship for zombie movies, vampire movies, werewolf movies, horror movies of that like, I've also created another group on Facebook called The Walker's Den. If anybody's interested, I know it's a little bit of, you know, nerdy crossover, but if anybody's interested, all these links that I'm talking about will be in the description box below. Now, the second question is a little more fun, and I'm going to try and handle this as tactfully as I can. Spaz, it's been going on forever. Why haven't you responded to Mark Pearson? Now, the simple answer to that, and it's not very exciting, I'm sorry to say, is I don't have anything else to say. Mark has more to say about me than I have to say about him. And that goes with the territory, and I'll explain why. Because even if it's based on opinion, truth is finite and bullshit is infinite. If somebody were to ask, you know, what color is this Coke can? I would say red. If you ask me tomorrow what color this Coke can is, it will be red. You know, ask me next week, it will be red. Now, ask me like the day before I go to Survivor Series, and I will still tell you, unfortunately and boringly as it is, that this Coke can is red. Now, if you go to somebody like Mark P, who just peels off whatever bullshit he wants to say off the top of his head, he could come to you tomorrow, tell you it's green. He could come to you the next day after that and tell you it's yellow. It's brown, it's white, it's black, whatever. He will always have more to say because the possibilities of bullshit is infinite. I said what I had to say about Mark P, and I was done. You know, you can be done. And for somebody who's supposedly so against drama, my name gets brought up more than anything else in his videos, apparently. And as I've said in the past, if he was doing a decent burial on me, or if he was doing something that even remotely had any meat to it, I would be okay with that, because Mark P, when I subscribed to him, used to be good at it. But really, 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 what is there? There's, okay, I'm a fan of The Miz, so somehow I'm apparently gay with The Miz. Yeah, be a star, Mark. I'm a fan of women's wrestling, so I must be wanking to the Total Divas show. No, I will be honest, I won't sit up here on my haunch and say that I've never watched Totally Divas. I went down to the States, as I said, hung out with Steffi Sunshine, and we watched it together. Why? Because it was amusing as fuck car crash television, and we both had a Smirnoff in our hands. Oh, yes. Now, Mark Pearson says that I have the app, the WWE app, because I'm the type of loser that has the WWE app. Here's the thing. 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 Here is the thing. Now, anybody outside the wrestling industry calls all of us wrestling fans losers. So the whole loser thing really, really, I don't even know what to say. Again, it's the whole, you know, do you want to be a star or do you want to be a Ryback? But here's the deal. Yeah, I do. Now come up with something new. Just saying. The last thing I was going to say is a lot of people are asking me / hoping that I have something to say about the whole John Cena thing, because Cena's injured and he's out for a while. I've addressed this before. I don't care who you are. I don't care whether you're CM Punk or the Great Khali or Daniel Bryan or John Cena or Ziggler or friggin' Sheamus, for all I care. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Period. John Cena, much as I have my opinions of him as an entertainer on my television screen and in that ring, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. It sucks. Now, I've said for years and years and years, I think I've said since I started this channel, that I would love them to kayfabe him an injury, give him some time off, let him recharge, and let the WWE see what they could do without him. And what that is, that's not a slight on John Cena. That's me wanting to see if I'm right. I think the WWE could survive perfectly well without John Cena, and we're getting the litmus test of that right now. It doesn't mean that I don't want him to have a job. It doesn't mean that I want him to get hurt, obviously. It doesn't mean that I want him to have the big fucking soccer ball or whatever it is that he has on the end of his elbow there. It means put him aside for a little bit and let somebody else have a turn. And you know who's stepping up right now? Surprisingly enough, the Big Show's stepping up again. Randy Orton's back in the spotlight, which is, I know, a big bone of contention, because Randy Orton always takes the spotlight off of everybody else. Meanwhile, he's been, like, mid-card mania on SmackDown forever and ever and ever. But who's stepping up? Daniel Bryan is stepping up. The one, you know, the one guy, the internet darling, the one, you know, true wrestler that everybody wanted to get a chance and da-da-da, he's getting that right now. And we'll see what he does. And you know what? If he flops, then yes, bring back John Cena and be like, okay, we gave these other guys chances and they flopped, and we're going to bring back John Cena because for whatever reason he seems to work. He makes the girls faint, he makes the kids happy, whatever he wants to do. All I ever asked for was a shot. I never said, oh man, take Cena out, put, you know, The Miz in the main event again and WWE will be perfect. I said, no, give it a shot, see what happens. Put CM Punk in the main event of WrestleMania. Put Daniel Bryan in the main event of whatever. But bottom line, am I glad that, and here's what I tried to explain on Twitter as well, because I've gotten a lot of Twitter attention on this particular issue. Am I glad that John Cena is gone? Yes. Am I glad why he's gone? No. That's the end of that. Anyways, hopefully that clears up a few things. Let's talk about Night of Champions. Interesting card. I know a lot of people aren't very excited. A lot of it is predictable, which is the problem. Let's just go through the card, and I'm hoping by talking about the card I can talk about some other things that are going on in the WWE at the moment, since I haven't been here in a while. Rumored additional match that hasn't technically been announced yet is Miz versus Fandango. Now, it's not a title match, and it's, you know, one of those feuds that's been built kind of haphazardly on the lower end of the card, and it doesn't really belong on a show that's supposed to be all about championships. But here's the thing, and this is what I say to all the people that are shitting on The Miz. Oh, The Miz doesn't belong there. The Miz is so shitty. He does a bad figure 4. He's taking up all these spots from all these other guys. Now, let's talk about all these other guys that are supposedly losing spots. Now, you don't want Daniel Bryan or CM Punk or The Shield or the Wyatt family or XYZ to lose their spots. But if you're a big... Okay, I'm going to use Deluxe Man as an example, only because it's the first reference that I can come up with off the top of my head. Deluxe Man's a big Daniel Bryan fan. If all they could do with Daniel Bryan was give him a match with Fandango at Night of Champions, I'm pretty sure Alex would shake his head, to say the least. If Rey Mysterio came back and all they had for him was a match with Fandango, I'm sure Preston would lose his shit. If Cody Rhodes came back, who's a big Cody Rhodes mark? Oh, probably... Mr. Parkin from the British Fist. If Cody Rhodes came back and all they did with him was put him in a match with Fandango, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be that happy about it. So, yeah, Miz has a spot on the card. Maybe, but is it a spot that you want any of your top guys to have? It's a feud that's kind of laughable because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't amount to anything. It's not for a championship. It's just kind of there. It's like a Hurricane match or a Doink the Clown match. By the way, rest in peace, Doink the Clown, etc., etc., etc. It's just fun. Like, he's gotten involved in the dance competitions with R-Truth, and, you know, don't read too much into it. It is what it is. It's sort of an amusing little feud until both of them have something else to do. So it's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting the card, other than the fact that, like I say, it's at Night of Champions and it's not for a championship, but we can get more into that as we go. Tag Team Turmoil on the pre-show, or the kickoff as they're calling it now, which is really lame. Tons of Funk versus the Primetime Players versus the Real Americans versus the Usos versus 3MB. Now, you know Tons of Funk aren't winning. You know 3MB aren't winning. The Real Americans would be good. It would be a good match because the winner of this is the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, and they get to go up against the Shield on the show. Now, as far as a wrestling match, the Real Americans versus the Shield would be awesome, but it's heel versus heel, and they'd have to be really careful how they booked around that, to say the least, wouldn't they? Now, it comes down to the Usos or the Primetime Players. I'm going to talk about the Primetime Players for a second, specifically Darren Young. Darren Young coming out of the closet, you know, admitting to the world that he's gay, and sort of celebrating that and going out immediately and going on the Be a Star trail and supporting that initiative, which is great. They've immediately turned Primetime Players face, which I guess is cool if he's going to be promoting all this, you know, acceptance and Be a Star, and, you know, he's got all this attention now from the media because of coming out of the closet. It made sense to turn them face. They're a fun team. I've always found them to be a fun team, and in the past I've been shit on for that. Now, here comes the real sticky wicket, so to speak. Here comes the real controversial part of it. Is what do I think about the possibility of them being pushed just because Darren Young came out of the closet? I don't think Darren Young coming out... I have a lot of friends that are gay, bi, lesbian, transgendered, etc., etc., etc. Nothing but respect for the LGBT community from me. Let me be perfectly clear on that. But at the same time, and I hate to say this because it's going to get me heat no matter how I say it, coming out of the closet or telling the world you're gay isn't a reason to be pushed as a wrestler. Because in the world we live in 2013, isn't it not supposed to matter? Now, I'm not saying the Primetime Players don't deserve a push. I find them very, very entertaining. I would love to see them have a run with the Tag Team Championships. I don't want this to be the reason. Not only because I don't think it should matter, but I think it makes Darren Young look like a charity case, and that doesn't help anybody either. I think that's... It's reverse prejudice. It's, you know... I don't know how else to say it than that. But, you know... For everybody to turn around maybe a year from now and say that, oh, Darren Young got the tag team is one half of the tag team champions because he's gay, doesn't help anybody. Now, on the flip side of that, now I don't want them to be held down because of his announcement either. I don't think it should have any effect on their push either way, but that's just me. The main reason I say that is the people that should win this, and the people that deserve to win this, and the people that deserve to be the next tag team champions has to be the Usos. Has to be. Like, they went from everybody calling them the biggest jobbers in the company to pretty much hanging tough. Hanging tough with the Shield and making good matches out of the deal. And I think it's really, really funny that in a match between the Shield and the Usos, the odd man out is Seth Rollins because he's the only one that's not Samoan. Just putting it out there. So yeah, my prediction, I would love it to be the Usos. If it's the primetime players, it wouldn't surprise me. Either way, unfortunately, whoever wins that, going up against the Shield on the main show, isn't going to win. It is what it is. The Shield, especially now that they're tied into the whole Triple H, Randy Orton corporate thing, which I'll talk about in a second, they're not going to lose their titles anytime soon, are they? Let's be honest. I mean, if SmackDown was any indicator, the match between the Shield, the Usos, and Dolph Ziggler is any indication, it'll be a great match. I think it'll be one of those situations where either the Shield will fuck it up and get themselves disqualified, or the Usos will just come within an inch, within a hair of winning, and just not. I didn't make a prediction for Miz versus Fandango. I'm going to go for the Miz because he's my boy, and that's all there is to say about that. Shield is going to beat whoever wins the Turmoil match on the pre-show. I'm thinking the Turmoil match on the pre-show is going to be pretty damn good. My only concern, or I guess my curiosity, is why Big Show and Mark Henry are not involved in that. I mean, Henry's injured, and Big Show is kind of sucked into the whole main event scene, but Big Show and Mark Henry were the ones that got out on TV and said, we are going to take the tag team titles from the Shield. So for them to not be involved in the Turmoil match or in the tag team title situation whatsoever is really, really weird, in my opinion. Just putting it out there. Ambrose versus Ziggler for the US title. This is just going to be a fantastic match. Ziggler can't win this for a bunch of reasons. Ambrose is good with the title. It keeps that whole the entire Shield is golden thing going on. And the US title won't do Ziggler any good. Ziggler will go in there like he does for everybody, ragdoll for Dean Ambrose, and to be fair, Dean Ambrose will go in there and do the same thing for Ziggler. They will go in there and make each other look like $1 million, and there will be some sort of shenanigans, and Dean Ambrose will keep his title, and that's just what's going to happen. AJ Lee versus Natty versus Brie versus Naomi for the Divas title. Here's a match that I don't care about, because my girl AJ Lee is going to win this. What I do like, however, is AJ Lee becoming the female CM Punk of the WWE, cutting the pipe bombs and etc. And I like this whole story that she has going on right now between her and the Total Divas. Now, let's look at it for a second, because like I say, the match doesn't interest me that much, but this whole idea of AJ and this team that she's rallying going up against the Total Divas, it's sort of that conversation that we always have here in the YWC, is the women's wrestlers versus the Barbie dolls. And I mean, I'm sorry, you take Natalya off Total Divas and it's all the Barbie dolls that can't really do anything else. So I love this story going forward. This is only one cog in the story. It's not going to be the blow-off or anything like that, but I love the way this story is going, because I'm pretty damn sure you're going to get all the real wrestlers that have been doing real wrestling on a wrestling show versus the Total Divas from, reality TV world, who are there, just to be pretty and be Barbie dolls. Somewhere along the line, I'm hoping it's Survivor Series, because, like I say, I'm going to be there. AJ's winning this. She just is. I don't know what else to say. The Bellas co-holding the women's championship has happened before. One of the Funkadactyls being the Divas Championship doesn't do anything for anybody. And I'm sorry, I know people are going to come at me for this. Natalya's got all this history. She's trained in the dungeon. Spaz, you should be behind her. She's from Canada. Da-da-da-da-da. She's got all that lineage with the Hart family. I get all of that. But I have less than 0 reasons to give a shit. My cup of give a shit, oh my god, it's empty for Natalya. And that's sad. But I mean, at this point, it doesn't make any sense for her to be the Divas Champion. That's just my take. ADR versus RVD for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's built like shit. It really, really is built like shit. And it doesn't matter, because ADR is going to win. My amusement on this one comes from my fellow, my more extreme fellow members of the YWC, because they're so butthurt that this match is even happening. Why does RVD get a title shot? Why is RVD teamed with Ricardo? It's so stupid. Da 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 da. So the match will be what it'll be. It'll be interesting enough. It'll be filler for those people that don't care. It'll be time to, get up and take a leak or do whatever you want to do during this show. My entertainment from this comes, as it has been coming for the past couple of weeks, from watching people freak out about it. It's not the end of the world. The World Heavyweight Championship hasn't meant fuck or all in a long, long time. Long time. Most people are pissed off that ADR is champion. Most people are pissed off that RVD is the #1 contender. And my phone is ringing. Why? Anyways. ADR is winning. There's no way RVD is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship, and Ricardo Rodriguez is going to turn on him at some point, if not now, maybe at Battlegrounds or Survivor Series. And then we get to the two main events. Then we are back to the two main events. And here's the thing. Everybody is saying, oh my god, you know, this show's a two-match card, this show's a two-match card, there's nothing else on this show. I'm kind of looking forward to a couple things that are happening on the undercard, but hey, that's just me. Maybe, you know, I'm breaking one of the rules of the YWC and actually being positive about the product. The two main events of the show are, in my opinion, the most predictable matches of the entire show. We got Punk versus Axel and Heyman in a handicap elimination match. Now, Punk's losing this. And that's not because Axel's particularly good or anything like that. It's just the Punk Heyman story has to go on. The payoff to the Punk Heyman story can't have Curtis Axel in it. It really won't. It'll either have somebody new, or it'll be the rematch with Brock Lesnar. But for that to happen, Punk has to keep getting fucked over. He has to keep getting fucked over because it's Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's, you know, the evil genius, etc., etc., etc. So two things are going to happen in this match. Either Heyman's never going to get in the ring, Axel's going to beat Punk because Heyman's going to interfere somehow, or the other thing that I can see happening, and this is what I would love to see happen, and this is what I, you know, fantasy book in my brain, even though we're not supposed to do that. I would love to see Axel and Punk brawl for a long, long, long while. Have Axel realize that he's not going to beat Punk, and have Paul Heyman in the corner scream out something to the effect of, okay, let's go to plan B. Get a chair or something hard and completely knock Punk out. Yes, it would eliminate Curtis Axel, but Punk would also be out, and all Heyman would have to do, and wouldn't it be brilliant to have Heyman not even do a single thing in the match, come into the ring and just put his foot on Punk and win the match. The internet will go nuts. The internet will eat itself alive. Heyman will have that, you know, heel insulting element of, you know, pinning the non-wrestler and winning the match and gloating about it forever and ever and ever. And it'll lead us to more attacks from Punk, more comeuppance from Punk, and it eventually will bring back Brock Lesnar, either for Survivor Series or for the Rumble, or can we dream for WrestleMania? Bottom line, it's not the end of the story, so Punk's going to lose. Very, very similar thing can be said for Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the world, not for the World Heavyweight title, for the WWE title. Now, I love what they're doing. The whole corporate champion thing. Yes, it's been done before. No, Daniel Bryan is not Mick Foley or Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, Randy Orton is not The Rock, but it still works. It still works to have Triple H come out and be all condescending, Stephanie McMahon coming out being all condescending, Randy Orton and the McMahons talking about, you know, their catchphrases, what's good for business, and, you know, when it's really what's good for business is whatever we decide we want to see as champion. Triple H wants to see somebody that's more a mirror image of himself. Daniel Bryan will keep coming out and keep fighting valiantly, and his following will grow and grow and grow and grow like Punk's, and he'll keep getting destroyed. He'll keep getting destroyed by the Shield. He'll keep getting destroyed by the Big Show, who's got the whole I'm broke storyline going on. Let me talk about the Big Show thing for a second. The whole Big Show, I'm broke, so I have to do this and this and this and this and this, is a little weird, and it's been done before, and it's overdone, and seeing the Big Show cry doesn't sell pay-per-views, but he'll knock out Daniel Bryan. The Shield will triple powerbomb Daniel Bryan. He might even get a pedigree, he might get this or this or this. He's not going to win, and he's not supposed to win at this point. So that's it. Miz will beat Fandango, Primetime Players or the Usos will win the Tag Team Turmoil match and then lose to the Shield. Ambrose will retain the US title, AJ will retain the Divas title, RVD will not win the World Heavyweight Championship, Punk will lose to Axel and Heyman in probably embarrassing fashion, and Daniel Bryan will not yet get his hands on the WWE Championship. That's what I predict for Night of Champions. What do you predict for Night of Champions? Get a little bit of interaction going. Make, like Alex would say, make a video response, do what you do, toss a comment down in the box below, look me up on Twitter, on Skype, on Facebook, etc., etc., etc. Tell me, are you watching the show? Are you excited about the show? What else? I'm not going to do standard Q&As anymore, but if you guys want to toss me questions or whatever down in the box below, I might put one together eventually, but there's no promises, because you know how regularly I've been on here in the past little while. Anyways, that's it, guys. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Actually, no, it's subscribe down there now, isn't it? So subscribe down there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Tell me what you think. What are your predictions for Night of Champions? I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.